Hey, what's up guys, it's Johan. On today's video we'll be going over these DIY lights I've been working on, the controller, and a little bit of a redesign with the actual heat sinks. So in last week's video we went over how I wired the lights together, and we went briefly over how I use the app as well. In this video we're going to go a little bit more in depth. So if you missed last week's video, go ahead and hit the little card that comes up in the top right corner right here, and then once you're done, come back and let's follow this video so we can get on track. Everything that's in this video is going to be linked in the description as well. So first thing we're going to do is change out all the heat sinks. We're going to remove all of them with some rubbing alcohol, just let it soak for about 5 minutes, and then the LED array should just pop out. After we remove all the LED arrays from the larger heat sinks, we're going to mount the new heat sinks to the LED arrays. Then we're going to mount the heat sinks to the LEDs with some thermal conductive tape in order to transfer all the heat. You could also use thermal adhesive paste, but I prefer using the thermal adhesive tape because it's easier to remove if I make a mistake, and it's quicker as well. I don't have to wait for a paste to set and harden. And here's why I like using the thermal tape. Just simple line it up, press it where you want it, and then you're done. Alright, so let's take a look at the app that controls these lights. It's called Magic My Home. That's the app that comes with the wireless controller. You download it off the App Store. Once it loads up, this is one of the lights I have as a right fixture. If I go into it, I have it set to 0 brightness right now. As I bring it up, you'll see how the brightness goes up and down. Now this is heavily controlled blue lights, that's what I'm headed to. So there's a couple reds on there. So if I turn the red down, you see this channel turns down. But I don't have any green, so I could actually turn this down. And I wired up the entire blue LED puck. It's blue, so I could turn that down as need be and adjust it. And turn it office if I need to. Now the only thing I don't like, not about the app per se, but about using these pucks, is you can't control each individual LED. So maybe in the future I'll be going for 3 LED with controllable LED array, and that way I could have controllability of each puck, each LED on the puck actually. So there are different things you could do on here. So for example, if I have some music playing, let's go to this, confirm. You see, now it goes to the lights. So then if we, for example, we could actually have it go to vocal. So if you have music playing in the background, or if somebody's talking, it could actually flash to that. Also, what I like, if you add some modes, you go here and use this one, and if you're gonna strobe. So for example, you could set this up as a strobe to go in between each light and have it as a lightning flash. So let's change this, delete this color and change it to red. Confirm, and so that's red. Actually, let's change this one to blue. Confirm, this one to red. Confirm, and then this one back to blue. So it's gonna jump in between each. and I could change the speed as well. So if I want to stay up. So that's a cool little lighting feature, and because of how I have these lights set up by left and right, I could actually have one light that does the strobe. That's never been picked up by the camera actually, so let me slow it down a little bit. And you can save each mode. There are different functions. Go in between 7 colors if you have all 7 colors on, which I don't. I'm only using 2 channels right now. So it's a neat little app. Not too much to complain about it, and it's not my biggest complaint about not the app but this wireless controller is that it doesn't have an internal storage. So if the power goes out, it does store the data. I did some more testing and it stores your save settings, but sometimes it just stays on or off. So if the power goes off at night and it's off, it stays off. If the power goes off during the day and comes back on, it stays on. So once you get home every day, what I usually do is just hit the refresh button just to make sure it repopulates itself. It scans it back in the system and adds it. And then also you could do timer, and the cool thing about this is you could set the percentage to each light. So if you wanted to come on at, right now it's 446, you could turn it on, options, and then you could change the brightness for each channel. And you wanted to come on, let's say in the morning or 4, you could put it to put the blues on. You could put it to 18%, so you could have that gradual sunrise. I was testing this on my with the LEDs in the old heatsink. I did that in the on my 20-gallon tall. So that feature I kind of like it. It gives it that gradual sunrise sunset type feel. Alright guys, that pretty much does it for this video. If you like it, go ahead and hit the like button. Also remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. And stay tuned for next week's video where I'll be building an actual housing for this entire fixture.